Air Force One vs. Putin Force One. Which is more impressive? A lot was at stake, with Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin attending a meeting in Geneva. It might not have addressed international tensions, but it at least offered an opportunity for both the United States and Russia to confirm their positions and persuade their supporters of their determined will to flaunt a crucial component of these gatherings. Both nations undoubtedly have laws for displaying their alleged power, utilizing all available methods. The president's aircraft upon arrival are a few of these methods. Enormous four-engine beasts from the two presidents are among the biggest passenger planes in the world and serve as an example of the finest aviation each country's industry can provide. Naturally, it's hard to determine which aircraft is more striking. The perception is a subjective matter, yet it is feasible to compare. In light of this comparison, Air Force One, the most well-known aircraft ever, stands out. Although officially any U.S. Air Force airplane transporting the nation's president is assigned the call sign Air Force One, the venerable Boeing VC-25, a profoundly altered 747-200, has flown U.S. presidents since the early 90s. Its livery, designed by the well-known industrial designer Raymond Loewy during the Reagan administration, rose to fame as an iconic piece, especially through several visits by presidents worldwide, and its representation in Hollywood motion pictures. Donald Trump's efforts to alter the design were severely chastised. It seems that U.S. presidents are destined to journey with this legendary look for several more decades. There are two VC-25s in use, and they always travel in pairs if there's an issue with one of them. The presidential seal on the door is a significant element in each image of the U.S. Chief of State showing up in any nation, as is the image of the monstrous aircraft touching down. Its Russian equivalent is far less well known, but frequently draws interest from aviation enthusiasts who pursue the American-style aircraft. The plane transporting the Russian president is generally identified by the first plane number. That aircraft is part of the exclusive Russian flight detachment, which serves as the directorate's subordinate to the head of the Russian Federation. This detachment consists of more than 65 aircraft, ranging from helicopters and business jets to long-haul airliners, responsible for moving the Russian government authorities. The fleet's crown jewels are naturally the 5 IL-96, the newest wide-body aircraft, the 300 pounds. April 2021 saw the introduction of these, while the earliest one is from the 1990s. Some accounts claim that all 5 aircraft are prepared every time Putin is ready to go somewhere. The plane the president selects might be chosen at random, but similarly to the U.S., the IL-96 300 pounds travel in pairs to prevent leaving Putin stranded in case of emergency. This didn't always work, however. Notably, the aircraft gained notoriety because of its mechanical malfunctions, as in 2005, when Putin was traveling to Finland and the brake system failed during takeoff. The president had to continue his expedition on a backup IL-62. The Russian presidential plane, although not as iconic, has a historical background. Previously, the unique flight detachment aircraft was employed by Russia Airlines, wearing an all-white livery with a Russian flag stripe. The detachment was moved to the presidential directory in 2009, and by 2018, it became independent of the airline, receiving delivery updates. Despite these updates, both aircraft models, by contemporary standards, are considered outdated. The Boeing 747 was designed in the 1960s, while the VC-25 is based on the 747-200B, released in 1971. Though it has been continuously improved over decades, the IL-96 300P is in many ways a remnant of the Soviet Union, on which it was based. The IL-96 airliner was an improvement on the IL-86, the first Soviet widebody. Created in the 1970s and launched in the 1980s, it had several advancements, but its lifespan was short, with only a few produced, as it was beset by technical issues. The aircraft was not ordered by Russian Airways, and it is now mainly operated by the Russian government and military. The IL-96 400M, heavily promoted, was an unsuccessful follow-up version. Nonetheless, both the IL-96 and VC-25 are among the largest planes at practically any airport. In terms of specifications, the Russian plane is slightly bigger, with a wingspan of 197 feet 3 inches 60.11 meters, compared to 196 feet 8 inches 59.9 meters for the VC-25. However, The American one is noticeably longer at 231 feet 10 inches, 70.66 meters, compared to the IL-96 181 feet, 7 inches, 55.3 meters. The VC-25 also has a greater maximum takeoff weight and more powerful engines, generating about 60% more thrust. This results in the VC-25 being able to carry more gear, facilities, and personnel. Details about both planes' facilities are mostly speculative. However, it's known that both aircraft have comparable cruising speeds and service ceilings. The Russian aircraft has a range of 14,800 kilometers, 9,196 miles, slightly higher than the VC-25's range of 12,600 kilometers, 7,800 miles. The VC-25, however, can be refueled in the air, potentially extending its range indefinitely. From the outside, both aircraft look similar to the commercial models they are based on, but their interiors are far from identical to their commercial counterparts. One key feature is the defensive equipment on board, though specifics are not widely known. Both aircraft are highly shielded and capable of withstanding nuclear radiation. They are equipped with electronic combat suites to jam communications and carry flares and chaff dispensers to evade missiles. Another significant feature is the communication systems on both aircraft, designed to serve as flying command centers. This allows their respective presidents to maintain communication with authorities and even launch a nuclear strike if necessary. The VC-25 has more wiring than a standard 747-200, while the wiring details of the IL-96-300P are not widely known. Inside, Putin's aircraft reportedly includes a bedroom with a gym, a king-sized bed, and a 9-seat conference room. The VC-25 also has a gym, but its office area, which spans the entire front of the plane, is significantly larger. Dubbed the White House in the Sky, the VC-25 has a dining room, a meeting room, and a communications area. The rest of the American plane's interior is dedicated to offices and rooms for staff. In contrast, a larger portion of the IL-96-300P seems to be dedicated to housing and staff accommodations. The Russian aircraft is reportedly far more opulent, with gold decor and interiors designed by the Russian artist Ivan Glazov, in stark contrast to the VC-25's more utilitarian 1980s office-like appearance. However, one area where the VC-25 excels is in its kitchen, which is equipped to prepare up to 3,000 meals. The IL-96-300P also has a kitchen, but it reportedly only serves reheated meals, much to Putin's dissatisfaction. In terms of cost, the VC-25s were originally purchased in the early 1980s for $325 million each, more than $1 billion in today's currency. Each flight costs approximately $210,800, excluding the continual upgrades and renovations. Putin's IL-96, introduced in 2021, reportedly cost around $70 million each, with estimates going as high as $550 million for the most luxurious models. Looking to the future, the U.S. is expected to receive a new VC-25B presidential aircraft by 2024, based on the Boeing 747-8I. Despite phase delays and cost overruns, it is clear that the price of the new VC-25s will far exceed Putin's IL-96. However, gold and vintage tapestries are unlikely to be part of their interior decor. In conclusion, while both the United States and Russia showcase their aviation prowess through their presidential aircraft, each plane reflects the unique priorities and traditions of its country. Air Force One, with its iconic design and formidable capabilities, remains a symbol of American power and resilience, while the Russian IL-96 emphasizes luxury and grandeur, particularly in its opulent interiors. Despite their differences, both planes serve as more than just modes of transportation. They are flying command centers designed for security, communication, and diplomacy. As aviation technology continues to evolve, future iterations of these aircraft will likely incorporate more advanced features, ensuring that both nations maintain their prestige in the skies. Ultimately, these planes stand as emblems of the leaders who fly in them and the countries they represent. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment to join the community and stay updated.